Let's hello about EBC, Elections and Boundaries Commission of Eswatini.
Good evening and welcome to Eswatini TV News at 8. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm Lindo Masugu and your sign language interpreter is Matlabiso Kambule. Let's take a look at the news-making headlines. His Majesty King Eswatini III has left the country for the Republic of Angola. The Minister of Information, Communication and Technology has reaffirmed Eswatini's commitment to promoting sustainable and resilient development in Africa. The Deputy Prime Minister's office has launched 3 national documents which seek to promote gender equality and equity and gender-based violence and ensure a good welfare for all Emaswati, including children. And now let's get straight into the news in detail. His Majesty King Eswatini III has left the country for the Republic of Angola. His Majesty will participate in the 43rd Southern African Development Community SADC Ordinary Summit of Heads of State and Government.
I'm reporting from King Eswatini III International Airport in Sekhukhune. The airport is a hive of activity as Emaswati from far and wide are here to bid farewell to His Majesty the King. His Majesty the King left the country accompanied by Inkosikazi Magalantentesa. Silosemhlaba sivaleliswe bomake emakhosikazi bantu abenkosi mvulankhulu Cleopas Sipho-Dlamini nesivele naso sifisele sona silo indlela lenhle nenhlonipho lenkulu nangekujabula lokukhulu. Silo semhlaba besisingethwe inkosikazi Magalantentesa. His Majesty the King will be joined by other SADC heads of state in the summit, which will be officially opened on Thursday in Luanda City, which is the capital city of the Republic of Angola. On the news, I am Sandile Makanya reporting from King Eswatini III International Airport.
Emaswati who were at King Eswatini III International Airport to bid farewell to His Majesty the King when he left for the Republic of Angola have wished the King a successful working trip.
As His Majesty the King left for the Republic of Angola, people that we spoke to here thanked His Majesty for always prioritizing the welfare of the nation each time that he participates in meetings outside the country.
Silapha nje sitowuhalalisela inkosi elihambeni layo isabheka even le Angola lesithanza kongenkosi yethu silivele Maswati sithanza ukuthi inkosi yethu nayihambile iyengaphandle emaveni ichwanzela tinfo letinhle isitfolele tinfo letinhle letingasitalive Maswati nekuthi silive sithuthuke siye embili lokuhle ngako nje lokunye kwako sesiyabona vele even sekuvele sekuyendeka seyifisela lihambo loluhle netilokotho letinhle sahamba
sitohalalisela yona ingwenyama isahamba isabhekisa emabombo kulela lase-Angola. Ngathi ekunene ingaba nendlela lenhle, sithi indlela enhle wena waphakathi. Siyati bonkosi ukuthi ishikanenile ihamba iyasichwazela mathuba emisebenzi ibuye sisitakale simaSwati sisila kangwani kunenge lesesikubonile lesendela kona.
Kuhamba kwengwenyama iyemihlanganweni akusithi live leMaswati kuphela kodwa kusita SADC wonke ngoba inkulumo lefika ibeke ingwenyama ngilapha ifika ilethe khona kuthula kuSADC wonke kungesiyo eMaswati onke. So ke masibona nje ingwenyama ihamba kithi siye sijabule kakhulu ngoba siye sathi ukuthi inhlakanipho yenkosi ayigcini la kangwane kuphela kodwa igijima nemhlaba wonke uma ibeka inkulumo yakhe.
Simajanje stofisira wena ingwenyama yokunene asahamba sale ivela seAngola kuthi ahambe kahle wekunene. Siyathi ke wekunene nebakisi nakahambile akabuya lambada uyagwazana siyathemba nje ukuthi asele emaveni utawusiphathela lokuhle kodwa njengasemihleni kude umuntu noma live lelingahlala lodwana kulesikhathi sanyalo kuyakhulunyiswana kuthelelwane kuboniswane imbono ingonyama naye la siyajabula thina ukuthi live litawuzuza libuye latiwe
wekunene simfisela konke lokuhle asasikhulumela la kushoko kutabe kungithi sisemva kwakhe wekunene akahambe nje akhulume ngesibinzi avele abeke lokufunwa ngeMaswati ngoba ngilele sikufunako le yakuphethe.
I'm Sandile Makanya and I'm reporting from King Mswati, the 3rd International Airport in Sekhukhune.
The Minister of Information, Communication and Technology, Her Royal Highness Princess Khanyiso, has reaffirmed Eswatini's commitment to promoting sustainable and resilient development in Africa through enacting the right policies and supporting frameworks. The Minister was speaking at Sibaini Lodge during the official opening of the International Association of Science Parks and Areas of Innovation Africa Division Conference.
The minister says collaborative efforts are important for a climate-resilient African continent.
Improve water storage infrastructure and water conservation practices. An example of this can be found in our partnership with the African Water Facility and the African Union, as we establish the Pan-African Water Partnership to promote sustainable water management practices across the continent. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, the importance of creative partnerships to promote sustainable and climate-resilient development in Africa cannot be overstated. We must collaborate with stakeholders from different sectors and achieve common goals to address common needs on the African continent. So we learn from best practices and successful case studies. So let today's conference be a platform for knowledge sharing, capacity building, and networking, ensuring that our partnerships are effective, well-managed, and impactful. We have today not only the opportunity to showcase the RSTP, but also our world-class infrastructure in the kingdom, state-of-the-art facilities, and cutting-edge research and development capabilities in the kingdom.
Representatives from other countries attended the meeting virtually. For Eswatini TV News, Nelson Langamandla, Smuva Shongwe, Matapa.
The Deputy Prime Minister's Office has launched 3 national documents which seek to promote gender equality and equity, end gender-based violence, and ensure a good welfare for all eMaswati, including children. Speaking at Sibaini Lodge, the Deputy Prime Minister said government strives to promote and protect the rights of vulnerable groups of Eswatini society.
The National Gender Policy of 2023 now presents 14 thematic areas from 10. For this to succeed, we should all understand these thematic areas and make sure that we talk to friends, we talk to families, Furthermore, it provides a revised framework for gender equality and equity in Eswatini, outlining the country's vision for gender equality, and is designed to provide guidance for stakeholders and institutions at all levels on how to advance gender equality and equity and mainstream gender across all sectors.
European Union's Ambassador Desislava Jumelova says gender equality should be across all sectors of society.
It is at the foundation for freedom, prosperity, peace, and sustainability for all of us. And what it's really standing out is that I thought that UN would point to this, but let me say that globally, we are very much behind on SDG 5 gender equality.
United Nations Populations Fund's officer in charge, Margaret Twala, says the launch of these national documents brings Eswatini closer to achieving the United Nations 2030 sustainable goal of gender equality. For Eswatini TV News, Nelswendla Ngamandla, Smuva Shongwe, Matapa.
The Minister of Public Service, Mabulala Masego, says there are 5,940 vacancies within the public service and 1,293 redundant posts. The minister says the redundant employees will be redeployed to other ministries.
To improve government service delivery, the Ministry of Public Service in 2019 started to conduct management audits. The Minister for Public Service, Mabulala Masego, in an interview said, with the over 1,000 vacant posts within the public service, the government will transfer these employees to other ministries.
Sithenjena sibuka ama vacancies akanda tang 5,940. Lokusho ukuthi nje i-establishment register yahulumende yona it's bekufanele ngabe bang 51,184. 51,184. Kodwa ke i-head count yetsebenzi tonke tahulumende ithi 45,244. Umuntu lo redundant angaba redundant ka agriculture ngiyabekisa ukhanza ukuthi bamdzinga ka health njengoba ngisho ukuthi kunema vacancies la khona sesiyothatha ke siyomfaka lapho ke lokunye ke lesikutholile ngiloku ngisho ukuthi leti nombolo letala abantu kufanele baphume bamane bawubona kusho ukuthi ama services outsourced athathwe ngaphandle bataba ngu-4,448. Lokhu outsource ke ngidole sengikuchazile lokuthi kunikwe lamaswati lo msebenzi bese uhulumende uyayithenga leyo service leyo.
The minister also says the government will budget for the filling up of vacant posts in the 2024-2025 budget, which now closes circular number 3 of 2018, which stopped the government from hiring. Reporting for Eswatini TV News, I am Samkal Suekoza with Zikumbuzo Dlamini, Babane.
The Minister of Tingundla and Development, David Ngambalala, has officially launched the Social Accountability Framework that will make the public to hold accountable politicians over promises made while campaigning for chiefdom councillors, constituency headmen, as well as members of parliament positions. Minister Ngambalala says the framework will also remove development burden from elected members.
Despite that, the Tingundla Social Accountability Framework will hold politicians accountable over their elections campaign strategies. It will further ensure electorates' desires are not left behind. The Minister of Tingundla and Development, David Ngambalala, was represented by the Ministry's Principal Secretary, Nonhlanhla Dlamini.
We know what your aspirations are as an elected member, but we also have something to add to your aspirations. We consolidate. All together, as a community, we have a goal. We know what we are looking at in 5 years' time. We have to track their promises. We have to make sure they go back to report. We have to make sure the process is smooth as we go on.
Clerk to Parliament Benedict Xaba and Pegan Dlamini, who is representing Kango Director Teminkosi Dlamini, praised the framework.
MPs, they have a contract, as we know that they've got a social contract with the electorate. So now it will be written down. So it also creates a platform where our members of parliament will be able to go back to their constituency and discuss issues that have been documented.
It seeks to give credence to the voice of the people.
The Minister of Justice and Constitutional Affairs Principal Secretary Lindiwe Dlamini says the framework came at the opportune time when the country is heading to the polls to elect new government. Dlamini adds that the framework will further present an arrangement in which political representatives and citizens interact towards the delivery desired outcomes on political and socio-economic development. She was represented by Acting Principal Secretary Gugu Sibanze. For Eswatini TV News, Fortune Dlangamandla, with Vimikosi Nzinisa Manzini.
The Principal Secretary in the Ministry of Information, Communications and Technology, Peshia Dube, says Eswatini has discovered the importance of e-commerce for economic development. The PS has been speaking during the validation of the Eswatini's e-commerce readiness report, where he was represented by Andreas Lamini.
The Ministry of Information, Communications and Technology and the Ministry of Commerce, Industry and Trade, in partnership with the Eswatini Communications Commission and Africa Rise through assistance from the European Union, in February 2023, launched an assessment of the Eswatini's e-commerce readiness. On Wednesday, stakeholders gathered to validate the assessment report, where the ICTPS, represented by Andreas Lamini, shared the importance of this report to the Kingdom of Eswatini.
This report will become an integral tool in our wider digitalization roadmap and will catalyze Eswatini's transition to a digital economy. The ministry commits itself and further implores the community of the private sector, non-governmental agencies, development partners, and all stakeholders to the implementation of policy recommendations that will emerge from the assessment.
Paul Baker, a lead consultant from International Economic Consultation, presented some of the findings.
We do think that there might still be the necessary closer scrutiny of the gaps between what is happening in cyberspace transactions and the different e-commerce laws. There are a number of areas that are covered by e-commerce, not just the few acts that have just been passed, and just to see which ones will be the most critical, prioritized to move forward.
The report also says the implementation of the country's cyber laws is very low. Reporting for Eswatini TV News, I'm Samkal Suekoza with Sikumbuzo Dlamini, Mbabane.
The acting Eswatini Television Authority CEO Simise Mamba says cooperation agreements with the Voice of America helped the authority achieve milestones in TV content. The acting CEO has been speaking during a meeting with VOA marketing assistant Travis Hayde on Wednesday.
The Eswatini Television Authority, together with the Voice of America, commonly known as VOA, have a relationship that dates back to 15 years ago. On Tuesday, Regional Marketing Assistant for the Eastern and Southern Africa for VOA, Travis Hyde, had a visit to Eswatini TV where he met with the staff to share insights on different aspects of broadcasting. The Eswatini Television Authority Acting CEO Simise Mamba said this collaboration has seen the authority achieve milestones in as far as content is concerned.
This collective effort has allowed us to achieve milestones in as far as content is concerned. ESTVA is grateful for the long relationship that we have with Voice of America. The Minister of ICT tasked me with coming up with a transformational turnaround strategy for ESTVA, which will be centered around sustainability, growth, and expansion of the authority.
Travis, making his remarks during the meeting, said the authority has good broadcasting operations.
That was wonderful to get an insight into what you guys are doing, and also the amazing operation that you guys are doing here in Eswatini.
The two television stations are set to strengthen their cooperation agreements. Reporting for Eswatini TV News, I'm Samkal Suekoza with Sikumbuzo Dlamini, Mbabane.
Stay with us. We'll take a short commercial break. We'll be back after this.
It's the Great Price Rewind at Spar. You could be one of our lucky instant rewards customers to win your entire shop at a price from 1968. To enter, buy any participating product like 1 kg Kellogg's cornflakes for only 60 emalangeni and Lay's potato chips. Buy any two for just 34 emalangeni. Swipe your new Spar Rewards card and you could be one of thousands of winners in the Great Price Rewind. Only at Spar.
Welcome back. You're still tuned into the news at 8 right here on Eswatini TV. The director of the Ministry of Information, Communications and Technology, Andreas Dlamini, says the Kingdom of Eswatini has started using artificial intelligence. The director says they have started using this new technology mostly for security purposes, especially in situations like financial security. He also says such developments and technology are important. He further says the country is getting into a new era of the fourth industrial revolution, which includes 5G, robotics and cryptocurrency.
It is the responsibility of government to make the environment conducive for the growth of ICTs and the fourth industrial revolution. There are industries as well in the country that employ AI technologies in their cybersecurity, their network securities. So here and there, we do find organizations that make use of artificial intelligence in the country. There is good and bad that comes with technology. It is again the duty of government, the responsibility of government, to make sure that the nation is able to enjoy this new technology, but at the same time be protected from the adverse effects that come with that technology.
Now let's take a look at the financial indicators.
Standard Bank. It can be.
This sports update is proudly brought to you by eBet. Join our family of winners by visiting us today at ebet.co.sz. eBet, born to win.
In our sports roundup, we begin with this. The rugby national team that has moved a place in World Rugby rankings, as they are now ranked 101 out of 109 nations. When the rankings were last released in March this year, CZZ was ranked 102. The association has reacted, saying more tournaments are needed to ensure that the country keeps on moving up rankings.
And in our sports roundup, we begin with the rugby national team CZZ that has moved a place in World Rugby rankings, as they're now ranked 101 out of 109 nations. When last the rankings were released in March this year, CZZ was ranked 102. The association has reacted, saying that more tournaments are needed to ensure that the country keeps on moving in rankings. The association says more 15-a-side tournaments are needed in order to continue developing the sport in the country. Ireland still top the world rankings, followed by New Zealand this time around. South Africa are ranked 4th in the world, 1st on the African continent, and 1st in the Southern Africa region. Moving on to table tennis, the association will be attending its very first International Tennis Federation General Assembly in Thailand, Bangkok, from the 20th to the 25th of this month. The association's president, Percy Zulu, who will be traveling to Thailand, believes interaction with best world countries in the sport will surely assist in getting different necessities such as equipments.
Lena ngicabanga ukuthi ikakhulu msakadi ndawuzama velelo ukuthi ngifike ngakhe ama partnerships nalamave ngicebishe mhlambe ngiyabekisa emave la wadiko ngaSwaziland ngiyabekisa eNgilandi like nangafike ngibone president nje waseNgilandi we table tennis and then njengemlingani wami sikhulume ephangi umtshele lo ukuthi hey lena ekhaya nginanaku.
And in our international news, we begin with the victory of England women's team in the semi-final, who defeated host nation Australia at the ongoing FIFA Women's World Cup. The European champions will now face Spain, who defeated Sweden in the finals to be played on Sunday. Moving on in our international news that touch on transfer news, Chelsea continue to expand their squad after signing 19-year-old Romeo Lavia with a fee believed to be ranging around £53 million. The 19-year-old signed from relegated side Southampton. For Manchester City, the injury of playmaker Kevin De Bruyne, as he is expected to be out for 4 months, has called for quick measures, with the club now looking to fast-forward their move for the 25-year-old Brazilian and West Ham midfielder Lucas Paqueta. For Eswatini TV Sports, Fabrice Msonera, Mbabane.
The Sports was proudly brought to you by eBet. Don't hesitate. Visit us today at ebet.co.sz. eBet, born to win.
All right, that's how we reach the end of tonight's bulletin. But before we leave, here's a reminder of the headlines. His Majesty King Mswati III has left the country for the Republic of Angola. The Minister of Information, Communication and Technology has reaffirmed Eswatini's commitment to promoting sustainable and resilient development in Africa. The Deputy Prime Minister's office has launched 3 national documents which seek to promote gender equality and equity and gender-based violence and ensure a good welfare for all Emaswati, including children. Well, that's it from us. Thank you so much for watching. Stay tuned for the weather forecast from all of us here as the Eswatini TV News team. It's good night.
It's the Great Price Rewind at Spar. You could be one of our lucky instant rewards customers to win your entire shop at a price from 1968. To enter, buy any participating product like Spar 2-ply toilet rolls, 9s for 60 Emalangeni, and 1.5 litre Sparletta, Fanta or Sprite, any 5, also 60 Emalangeni. Swipe your new Spar rewards card and you could be one of thousands of winners in the Great Price Rewind. Only at Spar.
Ay, pala maghaya, ay, coach.